Well, after more than 30 years of service, the Bishop Family Health Center closed its doors on Saturday. Bennett Kessler filed this report. Some have estimated that the center provided general physician care for as many as 1,000 local residents. Now, a spokesperson at the center said that they are currently boxing up patients' medical charts and information. Those boxes will go to the Medical Records Department of Northern Inyo Hospital, where former patients can pick them up. The Family Health Center was founded by Dr. George Kibler in the 1970s. Reports say that he and partners had sold the center to Dr. Suzuki Duran, who continued to operate physician services for approximately a year or so. She was not available for comment. Dr. Kibler is currently working at Southern Inyo Hospital in Lone Pine. Now, spokesman did say that a pain management doctor from Palmdale who had provided service at the Family Health Center will continue those services once a month in Lone Pine. Sierra Wave Media has heard from several patients and other sources that there is now a problem finding new physician care in Bishop. Those patients said they had tried to see a doctor at Northern Inyo Hospital's rural health clinic and were told that the rural health clinic was not accepting new patients. Now, Northern Inyo Hospital Administrator John Halfin confirmed that the hospital is helping with the transition of the Family Health Center. He said the hospital has agreed to be the custodian of patient records. Halfin suggested that former Family Health Center patients contact the Medical Records Department at Northern Inyo Hospital. Now, asked if the rural health clinic is accepting new patients, Halfin said they are not. He said currently there are 2 part-time doctors functioning in the clinic. Administrator Halfin said that he will have discussions with the clinic to see what can be done. Halfin added that in October, Northern Inyo Hospital will interview 2 family practitioners for possible relocation to Bishop. Well, Bennett Kessler also filed this report. For residents of Mammoth Lakes, the looming $43 million lawsuit judgment has been a matter of courtrooms and town council closed sessions. Now, citizens wait nervously for details about what they will have to pay and for how long. Now, in the week since the town of Mammoth Lakes and Mammoth Lakes Land Acquisition announced a tentative settlement over the $43 million debt, speculation has run high over the actual amount of the settlement. Officials still will not say. Town manager Dave Wilbrecht said he does not have a specific date when officials will release full details of the agreement. Now, Wilbrecht declined to offer much information, but he did say that, as in every process, there are general terms of an agreement and then details have to be crafted. The town manager said, quote, "High-level decisions are discussed and agreed on. Details are being worked out, terms and conditions," end quote. Asked what will happen once all of the paperwork is finalized, Wilbrecht said, "Our legal teams are sorting that out." He did add that Mammoth may be one of the first municipal bankruptcy cases in which the parties have actually gone through to settlement. Now, as community speculation over the settlement agreement ranges from high to low dollar amounts, Wilbrecht said the sooner officials can reveal the facts, the better. The town's earlier press release says that the agreement will remain confidential until it is, quote, "fully documented and executed," end quote. Now, facts and court briefs posted on U.S. Bankruptcy Court website shows that the 2 documents were filed on August 22nd. One lists a schedule of legal procedures toward Mammoth's hearing for bankruptcy eligibility. The other document is a stay of order of all those schedules. That order says, quote, "The parties have executed a term sheet that provides for the resolution of their disputes subject to the execution of definitive documentation," end quote. Now, that order says both parties intend to seek the court's approval of their agreement. A hearing that was earlier scheduled for today, that has been canceled, and the town's original press release announcing a settlement with MLLA said that officials would release additional information to the public within weeks. Well, after a sometimes irate public response, the city of Bishop will not change the route of the traditional Christmas parade down Main Street. Bennett Kessler filed this story. City officials said they have looked for ways to cut costs and still bring services to the people of Bishop, but when the suggestion went public to drop the parade route back behind Kmart and Vons, the reaction was a definite no. Bishop Police Chief Chris Carter told the City Council Monday night that 75% of those who responded were not in favor of changing the Main Street parade route. Now, City Administrator Keith Caldwell said there was a lot of public comment. He said that in some cases people blamed Chief Carter for the suggestion that the parade route be changed. Caldwell said all city departments look for ways to do what's best and to save money. The administrator said Chief Carter should not be the fall guy. It was an opportunity for public input. The chief said his department did gather quite a bit of input. He said he appreciated the calls and emails. He said he and Tawny Thompson, the Bishop Chamber of Commerce director, wanted the issue out there for response. Carter made it clear that he had no preference. Now, according to the City of Bishop, the current Main Street parade route demands all uniformed officers be present to cover necessary street closures. The cost is about $3,500. Now, the proposed alternative route would have been less costly. Councilman Jeff Griffiths asked if, as some had suggested, the police department could use volunteers on street closures. Chief Carter said he would not do that because of potential liability and legal issues. Council members thanked Chief Carter for exploration of the idea, and Police Chief Carter said he would support the parade route on Main Street unless the council had other direction, and they didn't. Well, here's a somewhat dire press release. As Saracoso Community College begins the new academic year, it also faces the uncertainty of the California education budget. Now, in a statement sent to college staff, Kern Community College Director Chancellor Sandra Serrano said, "We've planned for the worst-case budget scenario and have been reducing expenditures throughout the district." Now, the bottom line for Saracoso Community College: in both scenarios, the college must continue to reduce its budget and utilize college reserves. If Governor Brown's tax initiative passes, Saracoso, with campuses in Bishop and Mammoth, will still face a budget shortfall of approximately $525,000 in the 2013-14 academic year. Now, the press release states that in this instance, the college can meet the reduction without cutting additional class sections or full-time equivalent students. The fall 2012 schedule has 29 fewer class sections than fall 2011 and is still meeting student demand. All reductions will be made through implementation of a staffing reorganization and natural attrition from retirements and resignations. Now, the press release says the picture will be much grimmer if Governor Brown's tax initiative does not pass. Saracoso will face a budget shortfall of nearly $1.75 million for the next academic year. To balance this deficit, in addition to the previous strategies presented, the college will need to make reductions that equate to the elimination of another 100 class sections, and that would be reducing full-time equivalent students by 271, as well as further staff reductions and cuts to programs and services. Now, the college, according to the press release, is strategically preparing for both scenarios. To say the least, solving our budget crisis is complex, said Serrano. We must continue to work cooperatively and engage collective bargaining and governance representatives to make the tough choices that will reduce our costs and focus on the central part of our mission, which is providing access to quality education for our students so they can be prepared for their major order in to transfer or to enter the workforce, end quote. Jill Board, Saracoso Community College president, said, quote, "The college has been weathering this storm with heavy reliance upon our college reserves. We will fare much better than some community colleges across the state, but the reserve will not last forever. At a time when unemployment rates are at an all-time high and community members are looking to retrain for jobs, the California Community College system has suffered state funding cuts of about $809 million since 2008, and it faces another $338 million cut in January if voters reject Governor Brown's tax initiative." Now, the message for Saracoso Community College is clear. We may not look the same, but whatever we do, we will do it well, Jill Board, college president, said. We'll be back with more news.